You've reached Zoe from Zeal Zen with another edition of my video series. This time we're going to approach recovering and managing long distance driving. So it's an incredibly uncomfortable thing to creep out of a vehicle after hours and hours of sitting and shorten up, and you just don't feel natural or normal, and there's a good reason for that. It's really hard on your back and really hard on your body. So here's some stretches that you can do to both recover and manage as you're going. So I'm asking you to take frequent breaks and choose the movements that suit you best to sort of, just ease a little bit of that tension that creeps in. Always, with all my videos, please move in a range of motion that's appropriate for you. If you have any concerns about any movements, do not do them. Just do what's appropriate for your body. Stay out of what I call yellow light zone. So any place that even in your mind you think, oh, I'm not so sure about this, or if your breath starts to contract and stop, or your body starts to get a little bit tense, it's not an appropriate place for you. The other thing is as you're traveling, make use of the space around you. I'm going to be using some props that obviously I found around the house, but there's picnic tables out there, there's rocks out there, there's trees out there. Use what you can to do what you will. The other thing is that I'm going to only be spending a brief amount of time on each of these in order to keep this video nice and easy for your digestion and viewing pleasure. So you will want to spend more time with the movements, work with your breath, and just enjoy a little bit of discovery of the body. So one of the key and easiest things that you can do is just afterwards just to walk around a little bit. Take your time, get out of the vehicle, maybe stretch, maybe do a little inspection of the outside of the vehicle, check out where you're at. Give yourself, your body, just a little bit of time to come to upright from this place where it's been so long. The next thing that you can do is just step with your feet apart a little bit and just gently start to rock back and forth. And maybe, you find that after a moment or two you can come down a little bit deeper, but just rock back and forth. And we're just lubing up the joints right now. We're not looking for any huge stretch, but if it feels good for you to rest on one side and place your hands on your thigh and just pause there for a breath or two, nice easy breath, then you're more than welcome to do that. So that rock back and forth. Next thing you can do, and you can do this with be on a step or something like that, have a solid wall nearby. So I've just got a little step here that I'm going to step my left leg up on and let the other one dangle and get the support at the wall or the tree or whatever else you find, and just let your leg dangle and come back and forth. And again, remember you're doing this on both sides. And then I'm going to move that step back and then just let the leg go in front for a little bit. So we're not looking for a huge range of motion here, we're just lubing up that joint, okay? Just back and forth. Awesome. Move your step out of the way or walk away from it. Take one step forward and just gently twist your body and let your arms just flop around. So one foot is back, the other foot is forward. The front knee is over the front ankle, and the arms are relaxed. And you can notice that my arms are just kind of moving in a flippy-floppy kind of way. And again, make sure that you do that on both sides. I'm not going to get worked up as to where your back leg is resting. Take as much of a step as feels appropriate for your body. Just feel that little twist. And again, you're not pulling on this or pushing on this, just sort of feeling that motion. Awesome. So next, I'm going to go and I'm going to use a yoga strap for a quad stretch. Okay, so this is a pretty standard stretch that some of you have probably seen before. Again, find a tree or something to hold yourself up against and drop that around your foot. And then I'm coming to the side to show you this because I want you to see that my hip and my knee remain lined up, and that's why I want to use this, because if I choose to just use my hand, you'll notice that when I come up, I kind of move my leg up to the side, grab my foot. Okay, that's not where I want it. Even if I drop it back down here, That's not the range of motion I want to explore. So we're going to try and move directly up. And usually when we do that, we need a strap. So just having that strap there, leaving that knee under the under the hip, and then bringing the strap up. And just take a few breaths here. So again, we're doing it on both sides. Watch that alignment, knee under hip. And take a few breaths. Play with that. And both sides again. Drop that to the side. Again, your wall, your tree, whatever. Place your hands up there. And again, one leg back, one leg forward. And just this time we're concentrating on the back leg. And if you want, you can keep a little bit of a bend in that knee and then encourage that heel to come down to the ground. If it doesn't come to the ground, that's okay. And maybe you can do that with your breath. So inhale, exhale, let the heel come down. And maybe you can change the width that you're at here. You might discover you get into a little bit different areas in your body when you do that. And again, make sure to do both sides. And from there, I'm going to offer up a stretch for a muscle that gets actually fairly tight into the hip area. And again, it depends on what you have available, whether you're actually traveling or you stopped and you've stopped at a place that you can sort of put a little set up. So I am coming back with a stool or a chair, and I've actually put a pillow on it because it's a little softer for the body, but also this is a little bit low for me. So watch, if you have knee issues, this might not be the best stretch for you, so stand back from that if that's the case. Bring up one leg and let it rest on whatever's that you have in front of you. So this could be like a table or something like that. Sometimes, like I say, a picnic table works if you're traveling. And just sort of relax, take a few breaths here. And again, do both sides. So making sure that this is really respectful of the knee joint, okay? And it's just standing nice and tall. So from here, I'll move that out of the way. And we're going to stretch into the upper body now a little bit. So again, find a wall or something. Let one hand go behind you. And it's important here to make sure that the hand isn't up above the shoulder. You want it down a little bit lower, okay? So just place the arm behind you and then turn your body away from your hand. And the leg that is closest to the wall is the one that's forward, okay? And just sort of take a breath and exhale and just turn away a little bit. And again, you can maybe let the hand go down a little lower, try a different range of motion. And a few like that. So exploring the whole fan of the muscle here. Okay, so you maybe start a little higher or a little lower and then work your way up. Your choice. Both sides again. From here, we're going to go down to the ground. So, okay, so what I have here is a couple of thick books. This is obviously something that maybe you want to do once you've finished driving, unless you find a nice park with some great grass. And you do have something, maybe a Tupperware container or something that's fairly level and solid. And start with a really low height here. We don't want to have too much. Maybe even start with, I've got 2 books here. You can even start with one of the books, something, you know, an inch or 2. Place that on the ground and then place your hips on it. And you're only going to see part of this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to the ground and I'm going to extend one leg and then let the other one come in towards my body. Okay, so hopefully you can see all this. So one leg long and then the other leg coming in. And just let yourself hang out here for a while. Take a few breaths. And again, do both sides, so equal amounts of time. This is one where it is really helpful to do it for quite a few breaths. So spend a little bit of time here, really relax the extended leg. And be sure when you come out of this position to roll off your support, move it to the side, and come back down to a flat back. From here, you can stay on your back, bring your heels a little bit closer maybe to your buttocks, relax your upper body, and then bring your hips to the sky. So, you can do this in a flowing manner, so let it come back down, and then let yourself come up again. Or you can take a couple of breaths anywhere. Make sure your upper body is really relaxed here. If you find you're gaining tension as you do this, this isn't the movement for you. Okay, so just a couple more like that. Let your hips come to the sky, really pressing the feet into the ground. Awesome. Okay, last one, the neck. So just let your chin come into your chest, drop the head down, roll the head to one side, shoulder to ear, roll the head to the other side, shoulder to ear. And you can just play with that range of motion. So I don't want you bringing your head back. Just stay in this little arc at the front and maybe take a breath or two on each side. And then from one of those sides, come back to center and just look to one side and then the other. Just very gently, back and forth. Voila, that is it. So if you are driving lots, pick some of those movements that you can do en route in little breaks and maybe take a few more for when you're finished. But always remember to warm up first and only do what's appropriate for you. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope this helps for your long-term vacation, summer traveling. Bye-bye.